How you doing, my thief powder enthusiasts y seguidores del canal? I just want to make a quick little video on basically how I caught this bird right here, the male. I believe it's ash red powder. This one is my female. This is the female, which I'm going to reference in a link. 2016 powder that got torn up by the hawk. If you notice, she has a little limp to her. That's my female. And then this is the male that I caught not too long ago with the blue bar male. And this was back in February. So we're in first week of April and I'm already releasing him. This video is basically to teach you guys more or less how I get these birds adapted to my yard so they could fly around. You know, basically, as you see, for thief powders, I keep the birds, you know, like they're in confinement, solitary. These birds want to you know, find something, you know, pair up. They're social animals, so we work with that. They obviously have to have a lot of other things like instinct. They can't be pecking the female. You know, a lot of people in Spanish call it seduction, seduction. You know, they gotta be mellow when they're calling birds, not attack them because they can't get territorial. But basically, I'm gonna just tell you guys how I got this bird here. You know, there's nothing, there's no aviary, nothing. As you can see, I have this little cage here. You know, I know how to describe these things in Spanish more than English, but basically it's just a vistero, just a little wire mesh that we put in the front of that cage. You know, I kept them isolated for probably a week or two, and I decided he's a young bird. You can still see he's kind of like molting his neck feathers, so I'd say he's probably between, you know, 4 to 6 months. So basically I had my female, and what I would do is I'd lock him up here inside that cage, right? And then I left him there for like a week just so he get used to eating and you know, drinking. He wasn't used to this type of cage yet. And then if you see, I'm gonna back up a little, you know, basically he could observe the area and get used to the sights and sounds of my loft. So what I did was I would put him here, let's say during the daytime when I wasn't flying any powders, I'd put him with that right here. I just strap that to the cage, right? And then I just leave him there. He'd come in and out, get used to, you know, that's a safe spot, you know. Then from there, I started releasing other birds, right? Like her, she wasn't living there with him at the moment, but he would always call to her. So he'd start calling her into his box. Then eventually, what I would do is, if you notice where this cage is, I'd put this cage where I have these 2 chicks that someone gave me, and I'd put them there. I'd put that cage on top of there, right? That's what an iguana cage I have, and I just, you know, it gives of a more 360 view of the area. Sorry, there's one of my tegus. All right, so I give them a view, you know, of the sights and sounds, the loft. It'll get them used to it. So I did that probably for like 2 weeks, a week by himself, just so he could come in and out of the box. And then I started just carrying him and obviously putting him in the side of this cage right here, up here. And I did that for another week. Obviously I would release this female too, and he was the only male available for her, so he would obviously call to her and dance and strut around and do his thing. And that's it. After 2 weeks, I said, hey, that's it. I let him get with the female, and I basically locked them up. She was already kind of used to him by then, so I locked them up together. And now, like when I'm not having one of my males, which is the blue bar, or I'm not getting these guys already fly around here. What they don't do is go in at night into their little enclosure. It's kind of like an uncomfortable area to fly up in. They like sleeping right there up against the fence, so I gotta put them in every night in there. But basically that's what I did. I'm talking about 2 weeks. You know, I caught this bird last month, so a week just with this little cage so he could come in and out by himself, get used to his new surrounding. Another week, you know, I'd either leave him there or put him in a larger cage, and you know, also up here, you know, so he could see the neighborhood, right? Get used to the area. And then finally I just put him with this female. Okay, they've been already to it for a week, and then you just gotta take that leap of faith and open up the cage. And you know, I'm gonna post some of the videos like when he was caught. I'm gonna put the link right here in the corner. And for her, I already put it earlier. She's just a hen that I have a white chick from, and her mother was a very good bird, and her dad had some pedigree in him, but I just use her right now. She's getting kind of old, and with her limp leg, I just use her to try to adapt these males that I catch. I don't know about the prospects of this young bird. I don't know if he's gonna be any good. It's a trial and error thing. If the bird is good, you know, you keep him around. If he's not, you got to move on. Okay, this video is basically for novices that are just starting off. You know, maybe they go to the pet shop and buy two, you know, birds. Breeding is another way to get birds to, you know, what do they need? Food, shelter, and company. Food, shelter, and company. You met the basic needs, and there you go. So he, you know, he likes his little spot. Somebody was asking me about the size. You can see the size of this cage. Actually, I put a little wooden box in there. It's not really big enough to put a nest. I mean, I could put a nest in there, but you see, you know, the birds have enough space to where they can move around. What I'm gonna do is, as soon as she lays, I'm probably gonna take her out of there and leave him by himself, and then I'm gonna test him. He flies. You know, since they're in their romance, they really don't go too far. She can fly like hell, but again, right now I just want to get him used to the area, and then eventually I just leave him out on his own, leave him locked up for a week, and then bam, slide that door open and let him do his thing. He's either gonna come back with a or he's gonna come back empty-handed, or he's not gonna do much. He's probably just gonna hang out here or something. And if he does that, then you know what, find something better. With time, you know, this is a lot of selection, a lot of spending time in the sun, you know, watching your birds and seeing which ones do what makes you happy. And if not, you got to get rid of him. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I don't want to make it too long, but like I said, a week just stepping in and out of the cage. The second week between that and maybe in a bigger cage in an elevated area, so he could get used to the sights and sounds some more. And then just introduce them to one of your females. If you just, you know, got into the hobby and you got two birds, simply just put them together. And what I would recommend is maybe put the female in, when you're ready to release them, put the female, let go one of them at a time. And like that, the other one's not probably gonna venture far off, right? And then once he goes back into his loft, or they got a nest obviously, then you just pull her out of the cage, put her back in there with him. And once you already feel confident, you know, you're gonna have to take that leap of faith, you know, birds of prey, things like that. But overall, basically that's what you want to do. And like I said, I caught this bird in February. We're already the first week of April, and that's it. We're gonna see. I'm gonna feed him if he's not doing anything. So that's the whole purpose of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Any questions, leave comments below. Okay, please subscribe. Trying to get my subscribers up, share the hobby. I mean, I could do this video in Spanish for all the, you know, people locally that like thief powders, but I'm trying to, you know, touch base. I know across the US there's a lot of people that have that itch, that don't just want homing pigeons, they want a little something else. So this is for you guys. I hope you enjoy. Have a good day. Subscribe and like this video. Leave any comments below. Thank you.